Guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a new video. Hope you all had a great weekend. It is a new week again, and this is probably going to be the most important week of December because we have CPI data and FOMC meeting on Tuesday and Wednesday. We're going to look at it in a second, but first we're going to have a look at Btc. If you like the content, then please do me a favor, like, subscribe, click the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think this is useful. And without further ado, let's start diving in. Btc USD on the 4 hour right here on your screen. I left this white diagonal line in. It's a little bit biased because you could move it a little bit and saying that maybe the lines should be here underneath, but then you have a bit of a problem of attaching these bottoms. But now I just keep it on and like this. Let's see if we roll over here again. Don't see it as a super key level, but it is interesting. I also extended the volume node, as you can see. Here the red line, the point of control, is approximately at, let me see, that is 16,950, almost 17,000. And the value area low here at the bottom just keeps on creeping up a little bit by little bit every day. Right now here at 16,350. Once the price goes down, spend some time here. Of course, then this blue bottom line will also move to the bottom. And I put this yellow line on there, that is a high volume node, so there's a candle with also a lot of trading volume, and this is actually the point of control on Bybit. So it could be, depending on your chart, your point of control is here or here, but I do have to say I think 1 or 2 more trading days in this area, and also Bybit will move to the top to have the point of control here. What can be interesting trades? Well, actually what I'm still looking out for, what I'm kind of hoping for, is that we are going to take out the liquidity of these highs, maybe move higher and go then towards the 17,500 to 17,555. I have a daily level there and a swing field pattern. We will take out the liquidity and then go lower. That actually would be super nice. Then I'm still targeting these bottoms right here. Now, if you are saying, you know what, I'm actually pretty bullish, but I want to enter long, but I want to do it on a nice secure level, or at least a place with a lot of confluence, then the first one you could take is this golden pocket here at 16,500-ish, which also coincides with a point of control for most other exchanges like Bybit, the yellow line. So that's actually very nice. You could also say, you know what, we're taking it even a little bit lower to the low right here. Then you're having it at 16,160. You could also say, you know what, I'm actually extending the trading range. That's what I do for myself, that I just created a box, and I will say, you know what, if we are coming in this area, starting off from 16,150 all the way up to 16,350, and that is only a 1.2% area, so that's not even that big. If we hit it and we get let's say bullish divergence or something, then I'll probably play it as a long. Yeah, if we even go lower, then of course we could retest here as 15,500. That is also a very important area. What could happen is, let's say if we are going higher, that actually would be super nice, is that we are going higher, taking the liquidity like I just told you, and then creating a bearish divergence here on the 4 hourly, because this was a pretty high wave. If that happens, then I would probably bet the farm on a short, because I still think that we are going to revisit that 15,500 sooner or later. We also spent already quite some time here in the green for the money flow. Maybe some time to reverse this a little bit, because after all we're still a bit in the bear market. On the hourly, the exact same scenario actually. We could also just rapidly go up, and then the bearish divergence does not only appear on the 4 hourly, but can also appear on the 1 hour. There's also, by the way, still a very big wave here, and of course the wave here. So there is definitely some room for us to go higher, to create a very bearish pattern, and then to go lower again. On the other hand, if we would now make a new low here, then we could also create a nice bullish divergence here on the hourly. So right now, not in any trade, but I am keeping my eyes out. Levels so far has been respected tremendously. To be honest, I have not done a whole lot of trading because I've been busy with other stuff. But if you Oh, that's the other way around. We talked about actually last week. If you take the high, then to this low, then this came up to 78.6 and then went lower. But you could also pull a fib from, let me see where that was, I think here. Then you can also see that we also went from the exact low right here to the top, back to the golden pocket, and now going higher again. And you can actually just keep on doing this, keep repeating this trick, and now say okay, and now we have a low again and we have our high, what is now our new golden pocket. That would then be around 17,120 ish. So you can just keep on doing this, and you will see that more often than not, especially in the high time frames, 1 hour and higher, that these levels are being respected pretty good. A few more things I want to show you. On the bigger time frames, it actually doesn't look all too good. Here you can see that the money flow is still in the red. Here on the 12-hour, momentum waves are coming lower. RSIs are split, so weak action. View up is lower. Money flow curved inwards to the downside, so that just looks weak. On the daily, we are now printing a red dot, so that is pretty ugly. There is though one nice scenario here on the daily where I'm like thinking, nah, maybe we need to push higher, and that is that this candle has no wick to the upside, and today it is Monday. Matter of fact, let me zoom out here on the weekly, make the indicator a little bit smaller so it's easier to see, and there you can see that every candle, or most of the candles, have a wick to the upside and a wick to the downside, wick to the upside, wick to the downside. But since we're starting the week right away going down, so that's really from when the day started ticking and measuring, we just went down, then most likely we will get a move up. We can also still go down 1 or 2 or 3 days and eventually get that move up, but to have a weekly candle with no wick on one of the sides, that is pretty unusual. If I just zoom out here, you can just inspect all the candles here for yourself. You see exactly that every candle usually has a wick to both of the sides. Here it didn't, so that's a very nice example of what we then call a weekly level, and then it just went lower on this this green bigger candle right here to kind of fix then the fact that there is no wick on these sides, so then it's kind of created. But like I said, more often than not you are getting that wick, so it's only just a small move, approximately 0.5%, but it is something that I noticed right away this morning when I did my own TA. So right now, staying a little bit on the sidelines, I'm hoping actually for the next couple of days for a move up, but we also need to take into account that we might get heavy headwind ahead of us. That is for the CPI and the FOMC. Will be there in a minute. Just give me 1 second. Quickly, just want to show you the DXY. We talked about this last week. Probably gonna have a move up. That actually would be super nice. We had a red dot. That red dot got confirmed by a daily candle, and now right away we're getting a green dot. That still looks good for our scenario for the dollar index going higher. One thing that I don't like about this, we have thick money flow to the red, and it looks like it's not done yet. We're bottoming out, so I'm afraid that this might get very bloody, very weak, and then actually at this here, the price action on top would just roll over and you will make a new low. So far we still have a very big daily bullish divergence, but keep your eyes on it, that if this really starts dumping down, this starts to roll over as well as the momentum waves, and then that might be invalidated. But so far we still have our bullish divergence. We still have our case of a much higher price for the dollar index. Then quickly the S&P 500, or the future index, shall we say, the S&P futures. We had our breakout, we talked about it last week, opening gap right here. That one is now also filled. We tested the resistance, the support line that flipped into resistance, and now we're kind of just going sideways. I am keeping an eye on this, but once this is done or settled and we're going lower, then I think it will definitely drag BTC down. Then finally the news. This is for tomorrow. We are getting CPI data. This one is major. So CPI is simply said just inflation. This is so far how the inflation looked like in the United States in the last few months. Inflation coming back down. That looks good. But the Fed will most likely look at core inflation. And there you can see that we made a very big high here in the month of September, then coming down a little bit on October, and now of course then tomorrow we are getting CPI of the month of November. If that is the same or a little bit lower, then I think BTC will go higher. If this number, the next one for tomorrow, is suddenly 6.4, 6.5, 6.6, pack your bags, then I think we're getting a hard crash down. The day after is CME. That means that the central bank in the United States will rise the interest rates. 77% of all the people think that the central bank will rise the interest rates with 0.5%, and I'm gonna be honest, I am one of those 77%. I do think that even if inflation is not so favorable tomorrow, I do think that the Fed will rise the interest rate with 0.5% in 2 days from now, because they're also kind of hinting for it. They might not stop with rising the interest rates until way far into 2023. And I might from now on only take 0.5, 0.5, etc, etc, etc. Yeah, I think the speed with what they did at the 0.75 is probably a little bit off the table, unless core inflation is suddenly spiking up tremendously. So I do think, since we now already have almost a year of data, that just let's say the inflation is unfavorable tomorrow, it will not so much move the needle for the central banks to really rise the interest rates with a tremendous rate on Wednesday. But of course also their decision will be can be pretty volatile for BTC, and usually it's the story after that interest rate hike. So what is the tone of the Fed? What are they saying? That is usually what really moves the markets. So I am really looking out for that. And wouldn't it be very nice in our favor, in our scenario, that maybe on tomorrow's data we're spiking up above the 17,600 or 17,500, and then the day after on the Fed we are going lower to visit that 15,500. That would be super nice. That is at least something I'm looking out for. But we also need to keep an eye on the fact that we might also roll over already tomorrow, and this liquidity then just stays there, and these targets will not be hit at all. Now let's say we do something crazy, we're really spiking up tomorrow or the days after, then of course I'm looking out for approximately 18,500. It's still quite the leap for us to get there. Only 18,000 is already almost 6%, and I investigated or I researched that the more and more Fed meetings we have and CPI data comes out, the more resilient Bitcoin gets for the data. So even if it's maybe really good or really bad, I see the price movement measured in percentages are getting less and less over time. So don't expect a major pump or dump of 10%. At least I'm not expecting it. If it happens, it would be super nice, but I'm not really counting on it at all. Alright guys, a bit of a longer video. Hope you like the content. If you do, then please do me a favor, like, subscribe, click on the bell, click, and also if you don't miss anything, leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think this is useful. Of course, tomorrow I will be back to discuss the CPI data, so the inflation data. And if you also like to follow me, then please do that on Twitter and Instagram. Those links in the description. I will definitely update you on the CPI data tomorrow on Twitter, so don't forget to follow me there. Thank you guys so much. See you in the next one. Bye bye.